Hello and welcome to this video for the Your6 OS platform. In this video, we're going to explore why cloud. To do this, we're going to start by exploring the on-premise solutions and why they are outdated. As you can see on my screen, here's a list of things about on-premise solutions that are outdated. But let's explore them. Lack of scalability. So if I have an on-premise solution, additional appliances, servers, things like that, as I add additional endpoint devices, such as adding more cameras or need more storage or even more locations, what happens? You add more and more hardware, additional appliances upon additional appliances. Additionally, there is a very large issue with remote access. How are you going to access the footage? You going to VPN in? How does that all work and how do you plan on managing it? Just simply from a security and ease of use standpoint for the user themselves, it's not ideal at all. The addition of appliances on site also fall into the let's set and forget side of things, right? Which is bad. Both from a firmware perspective, patching, set and forget means you're going to have an outdated solution as well as a vulnerable solution. All of this also adds complexity, more appliances, different ways to remote access in, even things like antivirus on the servers, right? A lot of complexity. And then one of the things we're going to cover at the end is total cost. And it's very important to understand that an on-premise solution that you're paying for up front does not mean there's not additional ongoing costs. One of the big issues with on-premise solutions is people too often view them as only CapEx, right? There's no operating expenses, what they think. The truth of the matter is it's far from that. There are significant operating expenses that go on when you use an on-premise solution. The other issue is since you are paying for it as they come, instead of having a SaaS model, for instance, with cloud, you are kind of unaware of what those costs are going to be. They're hidden. What do you do when the devices go offline? Are you notified? Do you even have health notifications with an on-premise solution? Additionally, the system ages very quickly. So if you have an on-premise solution, you go with the whole set and forget, what happens is new things come out in the channel, right? What about new analytics? All of the AI that's come out over the last couple of years, how is that part of your solution? It's not if it's an on-premise solution. We've already talked some about security vulnerabilities, but it can't be understated how large of an issue this is with on-premise solutions. And then the last two there, no new features added, and all of these points of additional hardware on-premise are all failure points. So I've got a solution that's not up to date, has security issues and vulnerabilities, has failure points that will cause the entire system to go down, and it comes with hidden costs. There are a lot of issues with an on-premise solution. So let's ask ourselves, is my security solution outdated? Well, if your solution is an on-premise solution and more than 36 months old, then yes, it is. The security industry experiences rapid technology evolution. Pure cloud solutions like Your6 offer the latest technology, ensure the future proofing of your solution, and we seamlessly update new features which constantly adapt to the industry and the evolution of different technologies that come out, such as AI. So next, let's talk a little bit about cloud. So we've established that the on-premise solutions are outdated, especially if you've bought it more than 36 months ago. But is cloud the answer? Well, too often people question whether they use cloud or whether the organization should use cloud when the simple fact is everything points to pretty much every employee uses cloud multiple times a day. As you can see here on the screen, the average employee uses 36 cloud-based services every day. And I'm sure since this video has been out, that number has only gone up. Cloud is being adopted. Ask yourself, is the cloud a fit for my organization? Let's answer that with a question. Does your organization want to ensure that your system is always working, not just as a whole, but each individual component? If the answer is yes, the cloud is a fit. Time is valuable, and our cloud solutions ensure that every security device connected to the cloud is healthy and working. So, cloud is the answer, and my solution is outdated. Well, how do I know which cloud solution to go with? Well, unfortunately, there are many cloud providers out there, and most of them take an outdated approach to physical security. They're not all equal. Many cloud providers will actually go with something called a hybrid cloud model or just simply cloud managed. And what these do is typically say, well, yeah, you can manage things from the cloud, but we don't store the footage there. Or we're going to have an appliance on site. You plug devices into that appliance, and then that appliance makes it quote unquote cloud. The truth of the matter is you're just, again, adding that appliance that we talked about on an outdated on-premise solution. Appliances for cloud connectivity is not the answer. An on-site box or bridge or appliance, whatever you want to call it, creates a single point of failure. It adds security vulnerabilities, and it adds upfront and ongoing expenses. These solutions often also buffer video locally before uploading them to the cloud. So video is recorded locally, and then at some point we're going to push it up to the cloud. Well, what happens to that footage if the local storage device is damaged, whether that's in the actual camera or a server on site? Well, that footage is lost. Your 6 streams footage to multiple storage locations simultaneous. This means I can record to the SD card, a NAS or a server on site, and to the cloud all at the exact same time, meaning that footage is there no matter what happens, even if the event destroys the actual device. Now, additionally, a lot of these different approaches, such as the hybrid cloud or cloud managed model, sometimes don't provide proactive health monitoring, so you don't know whether your device is up or down. They also don't always provide endpoint firmware and patching with zero downtime. Your 6 believes in the isolation of risk and have built our cloud solution around that. We believe as a PSaaS, which is Physical Security as a Service provider, that it is our duty to maintain the firmware on those devices and help with the health monitoring. So to summarize, how is the Your 6 OS platform different from other cloud solutions? Well, we're pure cloud. We require no on-site appliance. We do not consider most other platforms that are out there to be truly cloud platforms. They require a box or some sort of appliance on site. If that box fails, for any reason, the whole solution crumbles down. We do not have a single point of failure. We also eliminate the expense of heating an appliance, cooling an appliance, and managing the patching on the appliance. So the answer is pure cloud with Your 6. Now, let's talk a little bit about total cost of ownership. What is very important to get from this is that an on-premise solution is not just upfront costs. Too often, people sell on the idea that a cloud solution is an ongoing cost, while an on-premise solution is only upfront. The truth of the matter is there are significant ongoing costs, and specifically unknown ongoing costs, to an on-premise solution. To visualize this, you can see here, we use the concept of an iceberg. You see the top, but typically 80% of the iceberg's below the water. An on-premise solution is exactly the same. There are significant unknown costs. Implementation, the hardware itself, maintaining the hardware, the difficulty in training when you have turnover. What do you do when things are stolen and there's theft? How do I scale? Will the solution grow with me? And then all the lost productivity that goes along with maintaining that solution. Now, that's just the unknown costs. The ongoing costs, annual firmware, I have to roll a truck to get that firmware updated. the additional IT staff to maintain this solution, bandwidth, power, heating, and cooling, all of this adds up into a significant amount of unknown and ongoing costs. The cloud, however, yes, you do have those upfront servers and MVR costs if that's what you want to have, but a significant portion of it is a known ongoing cost, the subscription fee. But very important, it is known, right? So if I have things that happen to my solution, significant amounts of that are covered, right? Firmware, patching. Oh, and if I want to grow and scale up, I need to add additional devices, additional sites. I don't have to add additional on-premise hardware. The cost of device 1 can be the same as cost of device 10, 20, right? But with an on-premise solution, as you add additional sites or devices, the scale will jump significantly at different points. So do not fall victim to the idea that an on-premise solution is only upfront costs. There are significant unknown costs and ongoing costs to maintain that on-premise solution. So to summarize, the on-premise approach to physical security is outdated. And simply put, it makes it very complicated, it makes it difficult to scale, and it makes a solution that is not future-proof and has hidden costs. The solution? Direct to cloud. That means no appliance on site, no complications from having those appliances or single points of failure and security vulnerabilities. But most importantly, it also allows you to have a predictable total cost of ownership and a future-proof solution that you can trust. Thank you for watching this video on why cloud is the solution for your security environment.